Coffee Homes and Loans. Today we're going to be talking about a really hot topic, which is Airbnb, VRBO, short-term rentals. And we're really excited to get into this because there's just a lot of talk on YouTube, on everywhere. Everyone's telling you need to get into this, you need to start making money, but what comes along with that? So let's make sure you guys do this legally. Alright, so Carolina, when I have the idea of doing something with long-term, short-term rentals, with the VRBOs, with the Airbnbs, there are rules. So what do I need to do to start?
Okay, first you have to identify, are you going to have a short-term rental or a long-term rental? A short-term rental is when you're going to rent your property for 30 consecutive days or less. And a long-term rental is when you own a property and you're just going to rent it to somebody that is looking for a place to live.
Okay.
Like, for longer than a month. And then you decide how long the lease is going to be. You can set a month to month. So that is the main difference, to identify which ones you are going to go for investment and then follow those rules.
Yeah, so technically being a landlord or doing something with just guests. For short period.
Exactly.
Awesome. So what are the common violations that come with short-term rentals?
Yeah, so depending on where you're zoned, these are the most common ones. So you have noise. So if you have a short-term rental, you are going to get penalized if there are parties and weddings and people can listen to the noise or music or even just conversation that it sounds loud to the neighbors and it's creating some sort of disturbance. People can complain about it and then you can be fined to do that. And then there's also rules where you cannot have parties outside. Like if you have a house and you're having to rent it for a few weeks to some guests and you have a pool, that can be out there after 10 p.m. So it's the noise and also parking. If there's a bunch of cars on the driveway, on the side of the road, on the sidewalk next to the houses, that is a very common violation. So most of the short-term rentals that you'll find when you're on Airbnb or other websites, they're going to tell you they're going to ask you how many vehicles are you going to have, what are the license plates, and the maximum vehicles that you can have parking in the front. And then the next one would be trash. If you are leave the trash cans, so here in Henderson, Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, we have trash days, right? So in most of the homes, if they have an association or just the rules for the city, you can't leave your trash cans out there for the whole week. So if you are a guest in one of the short-term rentals, you have to make sure you know when to bring those trash cans in and when to put them out.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting. Those are the three main things the three main complaints that come in.
It is interesting because you're almost thinking of yourself as a guest. You're in someone else's home.
Well, that is the difference. So when you have a short-term rental, the people that rent the house, they're called guests. And when you have a long-term rental, 30 days or more, they're called tenants.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into our next one. Here in Clark County, we actually have 3 cities. Believe it or not, we kind of just learned this too, that there's Clark County and Henderson, and they're not the same. So it's kind of odd, but very interesting. What are some of the rules with these different cities?
Yeah, so if you're looking at a map as far as like property taxes and things like that, you'll find that in Nevada you have, in southern Nevada you have Clark County, and inside that Clark County there are 3 cities, Henderson, Las Vegas, and City of North Las Vegas. Now, for short-term rentals, it is a little bit different. They call it unincorporated Clark County, they call it Las Vegas, they call it North Las Vegas, and they call it Henderson. So it can get to be a little complicated. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on the website the first application as the word to start, and you go to Clark County, Nevada. There is a list of instructions. It's actually very useful. Instructions on how to start your short-term rental application. And when you go there, it's going to show you a short-term rental license information map. So you will put your property address, and you're going to figure out in what zoning you are to find the rules. For example, as I was looking for this, in Las Vegas, you have to, your property cannot be smaller than 660 square feet, whereas in North Las Vegas, it's also 660 square feet, but you must be away by 2,500 feet from big hotels and casinos. And in Henderson, you need to be anywhere from 7,000 to 1,100 square feet. So the rules vary per city, also, but all three of them are going to require you to have a business license to submit an application with Clark County to make sure that you are the true owner of the home. And to also, they're going to put you in some sort of wait list because there can be two Airbnbs next to one another, especially in a residential area. If your property is in a homeowners association, it is very likely you won't be able to do the short-term rental because those homeowner association rules supersede the city rules because it's its own little community.
Yeah.
So bottom line, start from the Clark County website, find your zoning, then go to either Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, or Henderson to figure out what the rules are. Be prepared to get a business license, be prepared to show that you are the owner of the home, and be prepared to know that you don't have more than 5 properties that are short-term rentals because they do happen.
Awesome. All right. So the next steps for anybody to be able to rent their property for 30 days or less and get into this Airbnb game. I think you touched on that a little bit, but after submitting all those things like knowing that you're gonna have to prove that you own the house, etc., I heard that there is a certain lottery possibly that we have to get into.
Yeah, so there was a lottery where people were already doing short-term rentals before they put all these laws into place about getting a business license and the ordinances where you have to be a certain square feet amount away from hotels and how big your house has to be. So there were properties that were grandfathered in that they still get to be I guess, qualify for the short-term rentals. And then after that, there was a lottery. So if you own a home and I own a home and we both wanted to do Airbnb, but we bought our properties after the rules were put into place, we got the opportunity to enter into a lottery to see which one of us can have the next short-term rental. So the lottery is huge. There's so many people that are applying for it. Only a few get selected per year. So the lottery for this year, 2023, gone. So you can rent till next year.
Yeah. All right. So if I don't adhere to this rule, what can happen?
Yeah, so it is actually kind of crazy. So per our notes, you can get up to $10,000 in fees per night. So imagine if you rented your home for 7 days. That's $70,000 in fees that you can be penalized for.
Yeah.
And then they'll put liens on it. So when you are filing your regular yearly taxes, those liens will be there. Then it's going to go on the property. So you want to be careful. You want to make sure that you're following all the rules because it's going to cost a lot of money just to make a quick return.
Correct.
So you just want to be smart and make sure that you are informed with all of the rules. There are a bunch of different property management companies that can help you figure out the middle sweet spot, not to do short-term rentals 30 days or less, and not do a 2-year lease on a long-term rental, but somewhere in the middle to find that a specific type of client that is going to rent your house and you can get the most return out of it.
Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you very much for answering our questions. If you guys have any more questions or you have another topic that you'd like to hear about, please put it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, it really helps us out, and we'll see you guys next Monday.
See you guys.